Hi, I'm Dan Leonard in the East.
And I'm George Whittam in the West.
And together we are East-West Audio Body Shop. Well, this Monday night, we've got lots of yucks to spare because we have a great guest. She is a comedian, she's a stand-up comic, she's a voiceover coach, and she works at Edge. We're going to have a great time with Rachel Butera. You do not want to miss it. I'm hoping she'll do some stand-up for us.
I know. She makes me laugh every time she posts something on Facebook, and I mean every time. I'm going to share some video that we shot while I was in Las Vegas. We were visiting Dave Smith, the Captain VO. He's an airline pilot who's also a voice actor, and I got to see his studio and brought the camera along. You get to see what it's like when I get to go to a studio and provide face-to-face on-site support.
Of course, if you have any questions, email them to us at ewabshop@gmail.com. And if you watch the show, you'll see how we answer questions best we can. That's coming up here on East-West Audio Body Shop.
California, a Virginia Tech grad whose knowledge of the latest recording gear is second to none. He is a voice actor and the home studio master. Hailing from Buffalo, New York, his home studio skills and knowledge of voiceover recording are unmatched. When Dan and George talk shop, people listen. And the talk continues tonight. Welcome to East-West Audio Body Shop. My name is Pete Christofferson, and this episode of East-West Audio Body Shop is brought to you by Edge Studio, providers of voiceover education, production, and technology. Harlan Hogan's Voiceover Essentials, products hand-picked for voice actors. The Home Studio Master. Get a handle on your personal voiceover studio. And VoiceOver Extra, your one-stop resource for voiceover success. And now, live from his high-tech facility in Santa Monica and his soon-to-be former penthouse studio in Buffalo, here are George Whittam and Dan Leonard.
Good evening. I am Dan Leonard, still in the East.
And I'm George Whittam in the West.
And together we are East-West Audio Body Shop. Well, good evening, everybody. It is summer everywhere, even though it's still spring. And maybe you're watching Facebook. All the flowering trees in Buffalo flowered at once this year on Mother's Day. It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Saw a nice selfie with you and your wife.
It was.
Very sweet.
You know, it was, it's our last time we're going to see all this in our house here in Buffalo, but so we saved the best for last. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we have a wonderful show for you tonight, and I guarantee that your sides will split, so get your sutures ready. Rachel Butera is our guest tonight, and she's going to be entertaining us, and we're going to learn a lot more about some of the great stuff that she does in just a little while. We've got apparently you went on a house call, and we have some video of that, so people can see what it's like when you actually go on a house call.
A rare chance that I actually had a camera operator with me at a house call. That's very unusual.
Right. Yeah. So now you're going to have somebody following you around everywhere.
Maybe. Depends on if Mike quits his job and becomes my camera bitch. I don't know what else to put it.
What? Because you're going to pay him?
No. I'm not going to pay him anything. How's that possible?
No. But he'll get to hold a camera. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, but let's move on with...
Oh, that thing?
Yeah.
That whole thing?
Time now to take a look at the news. EWABS News.
All righty. Well, we start off things. Tonight, George and I are going to do some rants just for a little bit in the news because, if you really look, there's no such thing as voiceover news. Just trying to find this stuff is kind of hard. So we'll take this opportunity tonight to do some quick editorials, or at least a little bit of commentary on this. We need to post a picture of my real estate agent. Do you have that there, George?
No, I can go find it though.
Find it.
It's supposed to do that earlier, right?
Catalog. Yeah, you were, but busy flirting with the guest, and that's.
I know. Whenever there's a guest here, I get all screwed up.
I know. So anyway, I will mention her name because if you need a real estate agent in Buffalo, hire this woman. She's amazing. Anna Martinick. She used to be our kids' science teacher, actually. But she was hired by a good friend of mine who owns a real estate company, and the woman sells houses like crazy. Just amazing how she does it.
How does she?
Yes. How does Anna Martinick do it? She does it because, well, Marcy and I realized after, we closed the deal on our house, she says, "Oh, I sold 3 other houses this week." And we were like looking at each other. It's like, you were selling other houses. It then occurred to us that she treated us as if we were her only clients. And that, I think, is one of the keys to sales in what we do. Bob Sauer is always talking about how you love your clients and stuff like that. And Anna proved that to me. I think she has essentially the same attitude. She's a people person, but always think the client, act as if they are your only client and do everything you can to satisfy their needs. So you are paying attention to them and what they're asking of you. Even with some of the clients that you're like, "Oh, I hate this client." Treat them special because they're very special because they're the ones that are opening up your wallet and shoving money into it. So treat them as the fine people they are. And I salute Anna Martinick, who sold our house in 2 days for the asking price.
That's damn impressive.
Cash.
Very impressive. Yeah.
Yes.
My rant.
Go for it.
All right.
Yours is a lot more relevant.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's all relevant. So anyway, today I upgraded my MacBook Air, this thing right here, to Mavericks 10.10.3 because, well, they've been shoving it down my throat for a month, so I decided to finally do it. And immediately it broke Google Sync. Okay, so anybody out there using Google, anything on a Mac, don't upgrade to 10.10.3. But I did do what you're supposed to do before you do any upgrade or any update. And nobody ever does this because it's a Mac. What could possibly go wrong?
Nothing goes wrong.
I backed it all up first. So I cloned it before I did it. So if I really want to get that feature back, I can always restore it. But it didn't really go that well. So that's kind of kicks off why I'm ranting a little bit about Apple lately. So, I mean, I'm grappling with the realities of the Mac versus PC choice daily. I mean, because I'm trying to find a computer for our next EWABS production studio. Whatever the next show is going to be called, voiceover body shop, whatever it is. And so it's been driving me crazy because I'm trying to decide, and I've been swinging back and forth like a pendulum, Windows, Mac, Windows, Mac, Windows, Mac. And I've been having a hard time finding a strong argument one way or the other. The last PC we had that we actually used for the show, that thing lasted maybe a year, and it started to crap out after less than a year. I mean, back in my do-it-yourself PC days when you would build your own PCs, and I know people still do this, I swear 50% of the time I was fixing the thing. Did you ever build your own PC?
Of course I did.
Yeah.
I had a couple of custom built because, the early days of video and audio, it's like, I got to get this card and I've got to have this kind of speed. And,
yeah, those are the old days, man. I mean, I know people that still do it. The real hardcore gaming and computer enthusiasts do it. But the thing is, when you compare chip for chip, feature for feature, the divide starts to widen a little bit because Apple's falling behind. Their touchscreen technology, well, they don't even have any, right? So if that's something you're into, the touchscreen thing, like if you like the whole tactile touch the screen iPad thing, Apple hasn't done it yet. They don't have the iPad Pro yet. This seems to be the year for the iPad Pro. I'm waiting for the iPad Pro, which is going to look like a MacBook Air. It's going to look like a Surface Pro is actually what I think it's going to look like, but it's not out yet. I think is though, what's going to keep me coming back to the Mac over and over, it's Twisted Wave. Okay. That to me is still the killer app on the Mac OS. The thing is, here's another thing that bothers me about Apple lately. The thing that they're doing is they're kind of locking it down in this sort of backhanded way. And what I mean by that is like, it recently reared its ugly head with the iWork apps. Do you use Pages or, any of that stuff? Keynote?
Of course I do.
Yeah. So like if you upgrade any of those apps on one computer, like say I got my Yosemite laptop here and the show computer is on Mavericks, right? Because I'm still like, gun shy about there's too much going on with this computer. I don't want to take any chances. So I upgraded to Yosemite and then it upgraded all of my Pages, all of the iWork stuff, all was upgraded for free. What how nice of them, right? Well, the second I go to open up an app, a document that I made with one of those apps on my studio workstation, guess what? You can't
upgrade to the new format.
And not only can you not the thing is here, okay, no big deal, right? Just upgrade pages, upgrade the apps, big deal. Wrong. Can't do it. You got to upgrade the whole operating system to Yosemite before you can upgrade the apps. So they have you stuck in this upgrade spiral, as I call it, and it pisses me off. So I'm going to start recommending people start using Office for Mac. Yes, I actually said it, Microsoft Office for Mac. If you need productivity tools on the Mac, like, Word, that kind of stuff, get Office for Mac. I think it's $10 a month now because it's all cloud-based, right? Everything's on these billing cycles every month. $10 a month, you can get the full Apple version of the Office suite. That's what I'm going to recommend now because of this kind of stuff. I mean, and I'm using Google. I've been using Google everything for a long time. So really, if you're totally Google-fied and use a Google phone and you're all into the Google Drive stuff, you almost never need a Word or anything else because you can open any one of these documents on Google, like Google Drive. So I don't know. I still love Mac. I still love the hardware. I still love the operating system. But I hate what Apple's doing with the infrastructure, locking it down tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. Can't stand it. Anyway, that's my Apple rant. And then there's a real quick thing about Mixer Face. Well, there's another update about the Mixer Face from Centrance. And it's a bunch of technical jargon again about power supplies, chipsets. Boring as all get out. Yeah, I'm not even going to read it.
Don't even go there.
All you want to know is that there's no ETA yet for the Centrance Mixer Face. They have no idea when it's going to ship. It's still vaporware. So sorry, everybody. You're already mad, but what are you going to do?
There will be holographic keyboards before we see
At least they're telling us what they're up to. I mean, how many companies are going to tell you the blow by blow of developing a product? That to some people is interesting, but anywho.
All right. And that's a look at the EWABS news.
Rantalific.
Yeah. Hey, I like that. Why don't we call it we'll get rid of the news and we'll start doing EWABS rant.
EWABS rant.
Rant.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Because it's easier for us to write rants because we just do them off the top of our head.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. So we've got a couple of questions tonight and we'll get into the first one here. Coming from, I think both of them are from Nathan Carlson tonight.
Yeah.
But he asked a couple of good questions. I'll let you take the first one on the ISDN stuff.
So yeah, this is a good question. Now I don't know if Rachel's sitting back. By the way, I wanted to say hi to Rachel because she's being so patient. I want to say hi to Rachel right now. Hey, Rachel.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, she's sitting right here, patiently waiting to be on.
Hi.
Hi.
What's up, guys?
No, because I wanted to ask you about this because this question could affect you as well. You don't have ISDN at home, right?
No.
Have you had a call for it yet?
No.
For using ISDN?
Unfortunately not.
Right.
Pay no attention.
Anybody that doesn't have ISDN yet, this is something you might want to know about. So Nathan writes in and he says, this week I suggested, your guest this week suggested that using an ISDN bridge is transparent to the client. So our guest last week, which was Eric Leopardi from ISDN to Go. Using an ISDN bridge is transparent to the client. So would advertising that you have ISDN available in your studio be disingenuous if you used Source Connect Now or some other thing to link to ISDN to Go and didn't really have ISDN in your own studio? Would stating ISDN bridge be more clear or necessary? You know what? That's a good question. I think if you're like talking to actual agents that work with talent, and I've seen my clients show me this. It says, look, this script says if you do not have ISDN, don't bother auditioning, right?
Yeah, you see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a dilemma, right? I think it comes down to educating the agencies and making them realize that these new things, like using these bridging systems, basically bridging is going from an internet connection, like a Skype or something, and then connecting to an ISDN studio at the other end. Somebody in the middle has to make the two connect. That's the bridge, right? So, is it legit to say you have ISDN? I don't think it's legit to say you have ISDN.
You have access to ISDN.
I think it's okay to say you have access. And if you want to really be impeccable, it should say, I think on your website, I have ISDN accessibility via a bridge, right?
Right.
I think that's what needs to be said because the savvy studios are going to know the difference. They're going to know immediately.
Yes, and the fact that you have it, you might want to promote the fact that you have it and say, I've got an ISDN bridge, or I've got ISDN to go,
right?
You know, that sort of thing. And perhaps they've had good experience with it, so you never know.
I mean, these things are new. I mean, ISDN to go is pretty new, admittedly, right?
Yeah.
There's others that have been around a lot longer. They're proven entities. I mean, all the reason the whole ISDN bridging thing kind of came to be to begin with is because like promo voices that never ever get to go anywhere because they're got the golden handcuffs needed a way to go on vacation. So I helped a friend of mine, Steve Nafshin, build a super bridging system. So guys like Howard Kogan and Howard Parker and Joe Cipriano and all these people could travel and still keep their clients happy. That's where these bridges came from. So we've been doing it like 8 years. It's not new, but you know, if you're a talent looking to gain those kind of clients and you don't have it already, it's like this barrier to entry, or not. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like it's like a club, the ISDN club. Yeah. So well, I don't know if it's okay to say that you have it without actually having it. I don't think personally I
don't think that's honest. I mean, there's my thing with the phone patch where I just go, all right, you guys ready over there? You know,
yeah.
Is that a phone patch? Do they know? I mean,
yeah. And then they say, hey, can you play it back? Sure. Turn up the speaker, hold the phone up to the speaker. They don't know the difference.
They don't know the difference.
They don't know the difference. Just they just have to hear it. So,
but they will with an ISDN.
Yeah, ISDN is harder to get away with. So,
all right. All righty. Well, we got one more question from Nathan Carlson. He's the only one who wrote any questions in this week. We only tell you every week, if you have a question, send it in to ewabshop@gmail.com. We'll mention your name. We'll make you very popular, and we'll answer your question. So we'll be right back with that answer in just a minute. But I am remembering this week, when we go to a break, in our first break, it's time to talk about our good friend, Harlan Hogan.
Oh, not Howard Stern? Okay.
No, not Howard Stern.
Oh, okay. I had the wrong thing up on my screen.
Stern, but, yes, but Harlan Hogan.
Yes,
Harlan Hogan. The guy at voiceoveressentials.com.
Right.
You know, we talk about him every week. You know what he's got. He's got all the best stuff. He's got the VO1A microphone. He's got the Portabooth Pro and the Portabooth Plus and all the other gear he has. All we got to tell you is you got to go over there and check out what he has. Don't take our word for it, even though you listen to every word we say, which is why this show exists in the first place. But go over to voiceoveressentials.com and just go through some of the stuff that he has on the site. And you'll see that he has some of the finest things that you could use.
Yeah, he's got the new MicPort Pro, like the re-release of the MicPort Pro.
They've made a re-release of the MicPort
I think it's the same thing, but I think they maybe just did an update of the internal bits and pieces.
Oh,
they didn't call it like the 2.0, but anyway,
they put
he's selling it.
System in it, or
he's got it. He's selling it for $199, which I think is the going rate everywhere, and he's got them in stock. So if you're looking for the MicPort Pro, he's got them.
He's got them, and he'll ship them anywhere. And he will give, and there is his return policy is fantastic.
Yep.
If you don't like it, why did you buy it in the first place? Because you know you were going to like it.
Yeah.
You know what Dan's rule of retail is: know what you want before you go in the store.
That's right.
Never ask a question of some guy in a retail store. Hi, I'm opening a voice. I need to build a voiceover studio. What do I need? Oh, you need this $10,000 Telefunken microphone that we just happen to have. It doesn't work that well, but it's still $10,000. But
or they just sell you. Yeah, they just sell you the house mic.
That's right. Yeah, he's got all the stuff you need. You don't have to ask a lot of questions because one, you're online. But he, if you write to him, he'll answer your questions.
Yeah,
he might insult you a couple of times for asking him, but
no, I know the pizza guy. There's a pizza guy outside my door.
Okay, this is the reality of this show.
Yeah.
Harlan will not deliver a pizza for you, but he will have the best stuff for voiceover. So go over to voiceoveressentials.com. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, if we look right down there, you'll see that there is a little icon of Harlan talking into his Portabooth Pro on this great wire rack that he has to put it on. So if you like to stand up using your Portabooth Pro, you can get one of those too. He's got those at voiceoveressentials.com. But if you click on that will take you right to voiceoveressentials.com, and he will know immediately. A little bell rings in his living room saying, Dan and George just sent somebody else over to voiceoveressentials.com, and that makes everybody happy. So go on over there. And thank you, Harlan Hogan, sponsoring episode number 188 tonight. Been there since day one.
That's right. Thank you, Harlan.
Thank you, Harlan.
You are a mensch. And who's our other sponsor tonight?
I think it's time for my spot.
All right, you got it, my friend. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Are you confused about how to set up and maintain a professional quality voiceover studio? No wonder. The information out there is mostly mythology. This is the best microphone to use. You have to have a preamp. You need a soundproof booth. This software is the best. Your audio must be broadcast quality. Consult with someone who knows the truth. Someone who's been there, in the trenches, doing voiceover for over 30 years. Someone with unparalleled experience with voiceover studios, who's worked with hundreds of voice actors and designed hundreds of personal studios. He knows how to teach and cares about your success. In one of the harshest environments known to voiceover, your home. Dan Leonard, the Home Studio Master. Separate myth from fact and get a handle on your personal voiceover studio. Contact the Home Studio Master at homevoiceoverstudio.com. Drop off a specimen of your dry audio for a free analysis.
Whence came these two radiant celestial brothers united for an instant as they crossed the stratosphere of our starry window? One from the east and one from the west.
Very good.
The internet cops.
Use that one. Yeah,
they haven't come after us yet for that one.
I know. Well, we're not going to be able to use it once I'm out there. So
that's right.
What are we going to do?
I'm using it while I can.
Anyway, all right. Second question tonight. And by the way, Rachel Butera will be joining us in just a few minutes.
She's patiently tweeting.
Get your funny bones all warmed up, and honed and ready to go. Nathan also writes. Nathan apparently had a lot of questions this week. Nathan says, "My wife and I are about to move into a new house."
What?
Yes, it sounds familiar. With a relatively large bedroom or relatively large bedrooms. One of which will become my new studio.
Think of the possibilities.
I thought about the possibilities. Don't even have to worry about it, though. He says, I was impressed with the acoustic treatment you did in Mike McCall's studio. Okay. Could you please tell us about the construction of the wall panels, the corner bass traps, and the cloud? Did you use something like Roxel product? If so, which kind? Is there an air gap between the back panels and the wall and ceiling? Thanks so much. Boy, you ask a lot of questions, Nathan.
You ask a lot of questions, my friend.
Boy, that sounds like a little bit of overthinking it. But,
well, I think I don't know if he's playing silly or dumb, or I know he's not playing dumb. The thing is, he's got the same panels in his booth that he has now as what is in Mike's studio, whether he knows it or not. So I'm using the ATS Acoustics panels, and right now he's using a studio built by Scott Peterson here in Los Angeles. He's a guy that makes those voiceover booths. A lot of the
custom built ones.
Yeah, there's custom ones. Audiobook narrators have. And but I treated it with ATS Acoustics panels because they're just really cost effective, easy to get, easy to order. Color match to your studio, all that kind of stuff. But the way the panels are made is just a wooden frame with a wooden back, and the inside is full of Roxel AFB. That's what it's called, acoustic fireboard. And that's it. It's really, really simple stuff you can make these if you want, but man, it's really hard to make them cheaper than ATS can make them for you and ship them to you. Believe me. I mean, really, he makes them so cheaply. There's no air gap. Like if you said, is there an air gap between the back of the panels and the wall? Nope. Everything is air nailed with a nail gun directly to the walls and the ceiling. So the things you're seeing that are on the ceiling or in the corners or on the walls, all those things, every one of those is flush against the ceiling. Because if you didn't have a lot of room, you can't really hang panels down. If you already have a 7-foot ceiling, you can't hang them down very far until it feels like, feels a little bit too low. So I didn't do that.
Okay. All right. So let's see now. Now you went on a house call this week.
Yep. Actually in Vegas.
And last week, like a couple weeks ago when you were in Vegas. Mm-hmm. So what is it like when George shows up at your house? Let's take a look and see.
Here you go.
You'll find that within our brand, like Audio-Technica, when they make, you know, different microphones, they're not. They sort of have a certain voicing that's associated. Like Audio-Technica mics, I think, sort of have a certain sound to them. So, like, if you've got one brand or one model and another model, they're not going to sound too radically different.
You guys were talking about one night on the show about the 875R. B&H had them on sale. That's why I went and got them.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I have one in my bag on this trip. And this one being a slightly larger a lot larger diaphragm, it's going to tend to have more proximity effect. It's probably going to have a little bit more bottom end bass buildup. So, you know, because of that, you can get more, a little bit more richness or fullness out of the voice. So this one you can't probably get that as much.
Yeah,
this
one's fuller.
Yeah, so this one's sort of will give you a more sort of a natural, maybe overall sound, and this one's going to give you a little bit more fullness.
Yeah.
Plus, this is going to give you a lot more proximity effect. So when you want to get real dark and have a really dark, intimate sound, you work up closer to this mic, and that's going to get built up. You'll build up a lot of proximity effect. With a shotgun, the capsule on this mic is right here in the middle, right? It's right center, so you can get right up on it.
Right.
On this mic, the capsule's way back
in the
here.
back.
It's like right about there. So even when you're close to the mic, you're still 3-4 inches away from it. So you never get a whole lot of proximity effect out of the mic. It's always designed to kind of balance tonality. So yeah, it depends on what you're going to do, but once you get used to comfortable with one mic, I find that a lot of people end up switching less and less, you know, because they just realize, well, this mic just sounds good.
Yeah, it's like this one, the AT 2035 is more like for narration to me, for my voice, and then this one's more commercial. Yeah, it's what it sounded like to me, to my untrained ear.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, you got to trust your ears. I mean, it takes time, but you'll eventually start to trust. I like this arm. This is very nice.
Yeah.
Clamps onto the music stand there. That's cool. See, every time I go to someone's house, I see some new thing, and I go, I like that. I'm going to put that on my web store so people can find it. So do you want to record a piece of script on each mic?
Yeah.
And then we'll take a listen to it? What we call electric mics. Yeah, if you double click, it opens up. So I can fix that for you. There's a lot of little idiosyncrasies I can fix for you. To make it a legitimate doctor kit, I even carry around, thanks to one of my clients who gave me this.
Oh, I'll be there.
Stethoscope.
Cool. It is a doctor's kit.
Yeah.
And I've got my cables marked, you know, when I change them, so.
Smart. Yeah, I mean, the 875, its only real downfall is the self-noise of the mic is pretty high. You can measure noise floor, RMS or peak. So this at the top is the peak.
Yeah, that's the number I've been using.
This is the bottom's RMS. So in the world of ACX, they actually will say, we like your noise floor to be minus 60 dB RMS. Or better.
Oh, I'm in better shape.
Or minus 80 in terms of the 2035. So yeah, so you're seeing the difference. I mean, the 875 was designed to be a video mic, an affordable video mic, and when it's used out in the field shooting dialogue, you know, a little bit noisier mic often isn't a big deal because you're hearing a lot of other background noise. Get it in a real quiet booth, still sounds good on the voice, but noise floor is a little elevated. Whenever you're ready.
Back to a time when late night creature features were all the rage and the personality.
Go ahead and switch scripts, and then we'll switch mics. Okay. I think. Rolling.
Hey, Pandora listener, what can you get for just $3 a day?
And now we will switch mics. Stand by. All right. On the 2020, 2035 is much cleaner. Much cleaner. Like if you look between two phrases, if you look over here at the 875, look at all this crazy hash, right?
Is that cable?
I'm not sure. I think it's the mic.
Really?
But we can switch cables. We can do a little cable swap-a-roo to see. That That to me is saying, that to me looks like something is up with the mic.
In the mic, yeah.
It should not look like that. Yeah, there's something going on.
Okay. Take a trip back to a time when late-night creature features were all the rage, and the personalities that presented them were just as popular as the movies.
Yeah, there's some real odd stuff going on right here. I see that once in a while. Somebody will send me an audio sample, and I will see this similar symptom. Mm-hmm. And without being able to, a lot of times people don't have more than one mic, so without being able to troubleshoot and swap out mics,
right.
I just have to say, well, let me just try to clean it up with a high-pass filter and take it from there, But it makes it hard to edit. Like when you're trying to edit this, if you try to make an edit in the middle of a waveform anomaly
look at that.
You can't make a clean edit.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, Twisted Waves, one of the really cool features is this auto extend to zero crossing function. It won't let you make an edit with a click. If that's turned off and I make an edit from here to here, now you have this called a discontinuity right there.
Yep.
That discontinuity is a click. You will hear a pretty strong click. So that's one thing that's great about Twisted Wave is the ability to set it to not allow that.
Actually, we're on Dan because I hit the wrong button. But
then I'll start talking.
No, now we're on me again because I'm that fast. It was really nice seeing Dave. I know that you wanted to be there too, Dan. We were going to both do that together. Dan couldn't make it out for that trip to Vegas, but really nice guy, Dave. Really great. That's a perfect example of a completely ready to go working voiceover studio. Yeah, nothing fancy.
Very light because you'll notice it was made out of PVC pipe and studio suit.
And studio suit, exactly. I'm actually using studio suit in here now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a big sheet of it, so I decided to hang it up on one wall. So my studio is even more dead. It doesn't have the liveliness that it used to have. You can kind of chill back from the mic a bit more and sounds more natural. You don't have to hog them, you don't have to like swallow the mic. It's nice.
Wait till you see the new studio and how we're going to use.
It's going to be awesome.
Big sheet of studio suit in there.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
But speaking of amazing, we've got Rachel Butera coming up in just a minute. Mm-hmm. So get your funny bones on and let's get to that in just a minute. We'll be right back here on East West Audio Body Shop.
You're listening to East West Audio Body Shop.
VO Studio Tech. Recording made simple.
Hi, I'm Peter McHugh.
This is Jim Tasker from Los Angeles, California.
Hi, this is Bill Ratner in Los Angeles.
Hi, this is Scott Rummel here in Yorba Linda, California.
Hi, my name is Rick Wasserman.
Hi, this is Tom Kane.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Marshall.
Hi, my name is Zurich.
Hi, I'm Mary McKittrick.
Randy Thomas chiming in.
Hi, this is Joe Szymanski.
Hey, this is Rick Robles.
Hi, my name is John Patrick Armstrong.
I was turned on to George by none other than Don LaFontaine, who always swore by his help.
George is absolutely awesome.
ISDN, Source Connect, Phone Patch, FTP, you name it, George has set it up.
It's really the best thing I've ever done for myself. I feel free, safe, fearless, like anything is possible in here.
Unless you like to look for opportunities to waste time, call George.
And he did all of that, long distance over the phone and the internet.
I'm very happy with George and I cherish him.
Thanks, George. You make it easy.
Learning never ends.
You continue to grow.
Edge Studio has grown. Pursue multiple disciplines in tandem and grow your career. We've added new courses in a new curriculum.
We picked the best coaches from the community of working voice actors.
A new technology division, engineering and consulting, led by George Whittam.
Follow your dream.
Sign up for advanced learning or register for an introduction to voice acting or foundation studies program.
See it all now
at thenewedgestudio.com.
You're listening to East West Audio Body Shop.
And now, back to East West Audio Body Shop, where every week it's Apollo 13.
And we're back.
We're back. And joining us now is a young lady who's had an amazing career so far. So imagine how much better she's going to do after this.
She's going to get the EWABS bump.
That's right. Everyone's going to know who you are now. Rachel Butera, welcome to East West Audio Body Shop.
Thank you guys for having me.
Boy, what a pleasure to have you on. George has been telling me all about you for the last year or so. We have to get Rachel Butera on. She makes me laugh.
Oh, man. Thanks so much.
Any voice actor, especially actress that makes me laugh is good in my book.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah,
totally.
That's my goal every day is to make people laugh on Facebook.
Love it.
I like that idea. So now, what came first? Voiceover or stand-up?
Voiceover, definitely.
Really?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. I wouldn't even be doing stand-up if it wasn't for voiceover, because I went on the Howard Stern show and somebody heard me and said, hey, do you do stand-up? I'm like, no, but I've always wanted to. And he's like, why don't you come and do my show? So the first time I did stand-up was like 2 months after the Howard Stern contest that I won.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So what was the Howard Stern contest?
Yeah, let's go back another step. How did that come to be?
Well, I've been a fan since, forever, like 22 years. And they were having an impression contest. So I was like, oh my God, this is my chance to finally be on the Howard Stern show. I just always wanted to be on it. So I entered the contest with a couple of impressions, sent them some MP3s. And like 2 days later, he's playing my impressions. He's like, who's this girl? Listen to these voices. I wound up going on the show, competing against 4 guys. And I won. I won $5,000 on this show. The next day, Abrams called me, and they were like, we want to meet you. Or Billy Ciro. Thank you, Billy Ciro really started everything at Abrams. And
wow.
Yeah, it all just happened from there.
Again, being in the right place at the right time and being able to make it happen when you have the opportunity.
That's right. That's right.
Is that something you always wanted to do, was doing stand-up, or you didn't even think about it? Or
I kind of wanted to do it. I thought I might be good at it, but I was just scared. I didn't really have a lot of nerve, and I didn't know what to do. And people always told me I should do it. But I never would have done it if Adam Sank wasn't like, hey, come on my show and do it. And so, yeah, thank you, Adam, and everybody else.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things, your real claim to fame is doing impressions.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that, because that's a skill that I think a lot of voiceover people, I know a lot of radio guys that do it. I do a few.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, aren't voice actors told a lot to not try to imitate people? Kind of like when you like develop your own voice, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
So where does I'm sorry, Dan, I know I hijacked you there, but
no,
that's just something
fine.
I was thinking about.
No, I mean, and that's a great point. Is how do you, why doing impressions? How has that worked for you? I mean, it's a real specialty, and we can talk a little bit about your technique with it. But tell us a little how you got into doing that.
I mean, I've been imitating people since I could speak. I would make fun of my family, all the kids on the playground, all the teachers. It's just something I always did, and no matter what I heard, movies, I just would always do the voices back. And it always got a laugh, and I did it all through school, but I never knew what I could do with it. I didn't think there was anything you could do. I mean, I knew the Tracy Ullman show and stuff, and I loved that, and I was like, I could do all those voices, but, what am I going to do? So I was working in corporate America as a writer, like 3 years ago. I wasn't in entertainment. I had no plans to be in entertainment, and so this all just happened.
And were you on the East Coast or West Coast at
I was
the time?
living in New Jersey, where I'm from, yeah.
Okay.
And but
you're from Jersey?
Yeah.
Which exit?
You can't tell. Go get me some coffee. Yeah, but now, now with impressions, we get voice match stuff, a lot of for looping and ADR work. So that's helped me out. I voice matched the girl in the new Terminator, the girl who plays Khaleesi on Game of Thrones. Am I supposed to say these? Is this supposed to be magic secret behind the scenes stuff?
No, I don't think so. No. These people, these are working voice actors, this is just the realities of the business.
Yeah. I did a little Melissa McCarthy in The Heat, and I did some stuff from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I get, my agency, CESD, gives me a lot. They give me all the voice match stuff to audition for all the time. And sometimes it hits and sometimes not, But yeah, that is a specialty that I'm glad I can be part of that whole thing.
Explain to us a little bit what voice matching is, too.
Yeah, how's it different from an impression?
Doing impressions,
Yeah, well, I mean, impressions are, you just hear them, you do it for fun, and if it's something you can mimic, it's like, little nuances and funny things that you get. But I mean, voice matching, I've found that sometimes if you sound exactly like the person in voice matching, you might not book the job because everyone's ear is different. It's so subjective. So like, there's not impressions. There's voice matching auditions I'm doing that I'm like, no one else can sound like this. I'm the only one. I'm definitely booking this, and I don't. And so, and I'm like, who else can do this voice? Like Throw Mama from the Train was always my best impression. Oh, yeah. So finally, I got an audition for that. I'm like, oh my God, this is it. I'm finally gonna get to do her, and I didn't book it. I was like, who else can do that? You know who? Gray Delisle.
Oh, that's really?
Who. I was like, so I think
at least you got beat out by another really, really talented pro.
I know. But I think voice matching is just, it's for ADR stuff. It's for it's for when they are making the clean version of something, or they said something off screen, or they missed a line, and you need to replace the dialogue that the celebrities aren't going to come back in and do because you got to pay them too much. So it's a nice little niche if you can do that.
Nice work if you can get it.
Nice work if you can get it.
Yeah. So now impressions. Now you said you've always been doing them. Now, when did you start was that how you started your act, or
the stand-up? You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he wanted me to do. I mean, I wrote a whole routine, and I didn't do a lot of impressions. And he comes up on stage after the first time I ever did. He goes, "Why didn't you do your impressions?" I'm like, I don't know. It's stand-up. I don't really know how to write them in, or you don't want to sound hacky. I hate when comedians go like, hacky. "Guys like impressions? Here's Christopher Walken." I hate that. So I'm always trying. My thing is, I'm always trying to figure out how to write it in, so that it's not so ham-handed and that it's sort of seamless and
it's not your whole act's not a vehicle for you to get this opportunity to do a voice.
No, I actually do very few impressions.
Yeah.
I do my mother and my family more than I do like celebrity impressions, even though I know that's what people want to hear. I don't give people what they want.
If people know who your mother, if those videos you post, they would want to hear more of your mom, I think.
I'm going to start doing a podcast with her soon. I have to. Yes. She's just gold, solid gold, baby.
Who was it that did the music remix? John Taylor, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. That was funny.
John Taylor loves my mother. He loves her.
We love John, too. He's been on this show like 5, 8, I don't know, 12 times. We
haven't had him on recently.
I know. We miss him.
Yeah, John's awesome.
He's freaking great.
Yeah.
So what of the ones you perhaps don't like doing them all, but what are your favorites and which ones do you think you do best?
Well, I do Rosie O'Donnell a lot. Everyone really seems to respond to that one. I don't know if you've ever heard it before, but that's my Rosie.
Impressive.
No, silence. he's like, okay.
I've been watching her since the 80s, back when she used to do stand-up, and she would do the little shopping cart, and she would push it along and do that thing with the tongue. Oh my God.
You know that?
Yeah.
So she's like,
there's really big Rosie, like, haha, Tom Cruise, we have Tom Cruise on the show. And then there's like quiet Rosie who talks about a heart attack, and it's much lower, and it's much more Brooklyn-y and much cleaner,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
A lot of breath, a lot of breathing. She did have a heart attack,
Guys, am I
Give
terrible?
me something. Anything.
Give me a reaction. Yes. Tell me I suck.
But you don't. I thought Rosie O'Donnell was there for a second.
All right, good.
That's
all I gotta say is Steve Tardio just said, "Holy shit, that was good."
Thank you, Steve. That sounded good to me too.
Another one I do is Wanda Sykes. I don't know, maybe this one will get more of a reaction from you. Ooh, look at you with that twirl mustache, and then I see the mustache in the background. That's cute.
Yeah, I love that one. Something about that one just it just tickles the right nerves.
Yeah,
well, you said you were at the Poker Classic and she was performing that, and you thought that Wanda Sykes was there.
Yeah, no, I absolutely did. I was not looking at the stage or anything else going on. I think I'd probably just gotten there like 10 minutes before, and I hear Wanda Sykes. I've seen her in an airport. I've been around her physically, just in random places, and so I figured out that's definitely her. I mean, there was no way that it wasn't her.
I performed at the LGBT gala, gala, no pun intended, last year, and I did all my impressions and stuff. But they had me hiding behind the stage and pretended like Wanda was coming out. So I did that. I did Wanda behind the stage, and then I came out, and everybody was like, "Oh my god!" And Bruce Valanche came up to me, and he's like, "Rachel, oh my god!" He goes, "I know Wanda," and I was like, "She didn't tell me she was coming tonight." And then you walked out.
Oh man!
So my mind was blown. Like,
full of friends.
I fooled Bruce Valanche. Well, that's very good. It was exciting.
Who else? People are like, more. Who's one of your other favorites?
You know what? I really like sitting here next to George because he lost so much weight. He looks really good. He's nice and, look at those muscles. I need to get off my fat ass and do some stuff too. I've been sitting on a view too long.
I did get you a kettlebell. It's right over there on the floor.
You know, I've been working out with a trainer, and I've seen enough kettlebells to last me a lifetime, okay? I was boxing this morning. I was boxing at the gym.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Did you hurt anybody?
No, I just hurt my own ass.
That was Whoopi Goldberg, in case you didn't know.
I don't think anyone missed that one.
Sometimes I'll break into a Sandra Bernhard. Do you remember her from King of Comedy when she went absolutely crazy, absolutely out of her mind, insane?
And where is she today?
That's all I can do of her. She loves fashion, and she's a total diva. You know, sweetie, I do Kabbalah. I'm just chilling in New York City.
Yeah, Sandra Bernhard, where are you?
I do all people that no one cares about. I did stand up in Stockton to this young crowd. They didn't know any of my impressions. I'm like, listen, assholes, there's nothing to do with Blake Lively, and there's nothing to do with Kim Kardashian. I need to do old people with some substance. Like Joan, you know what I mean? She may be dead, but what a voice, oh my God. So much to impression, so much to impersonate. You know?
Yeah.
You can't do Carol Channing anymore. It's like,
diamonds.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Hello, Dolly. You know,
Harvey Fierstein. I mean, what young kid these days is going to know who Harvey Fierstein is? Nobody gives a fuck.
Actually, you know, our audience tends to skew just a little bit older, so they might actually.
Thank God.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Which is not why they're all rolling.
Let me bust out my
on
Ethel
boats.
Merman then.
Yeah, no, maybe not the Ethel Merman. You know.
But the old ones are also great. Like, that was the juiciness, you know? And there's nothing to imitate these days. People do Drew Barrymore, and it's like, thank you. And that's it. That's where it begins and ends with her.
No, stand up. Now that's a real challenge, I think, for a lot of people. One, you gotta you can't have any stage fright.
Yeah.
You've got to go out there and you've got to just let it go, right?
Yeah. I've never been accused of having stage fright.
I can tell that. What do you like to talk about? What are some of your favorite subjects?
Me, me. I talk a lot about me, my mother, my family, my crazy family in New Jersey. I come out and talk about how my mother, like, never had any hopes for me. You know, she was just like, Rachel, why don't you go out with Charlie? I know he's got diabetes and a heart condition. He's unemployed. He's 40 and he lives with his mother, but he's such a nice guy. Like, that's what my mother wants for me. That's who she wants her daughter to be with, you know?
I take it she was a big influence on your life.
Yeah, you know, she's really funny, and we've had our difficulties communicating, but of late we've been really getting along. I've been trying harder. She's been trying, and so I've taken to recording all our phone calls and turning them into SoundCloud files.
Is that helping? Is that helping the relationship?
She doesn't know this.
Oh, that's gonna that's gonna go over
Ma,
real well.
you said this.
She knows I'm using her, but she doesn't know I'm recording it. But I want to start doing a podcast with her so she actually knowingly participates with consent. Because she knows she recently said to me, like, you bitch, you're stealing all my jokes. You get all your comedy from me. And she talks just like that. So
fantastic.
Yeah. So
who was it that I think it was Milton Berle that once said, this is the key to comedy. Theft.
Right.
Absolutely. Steal from the best, right? That's what they say.
It's like pop music.
Yeah.
That's true. If anybody has a question for Rachel Butera and the fine entertaining she does, just write it down in the chat room. And who's ever monitoring the chat room tonight, I believe it's the lovely Shelley Avellino, is joining us from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and she's checking the chat room, and she will get your question on here. So we'll get to those in just a bit. Now, you were on America's Got Talent. What was that experience like?
That was, well, part of it was awesome. When I auditioned in front of the live audience and the judges here in LA, it was amazing. 3,000 people at the Dolby Theater doing my impressions. It was incredible. I cried like a baby. It was crazy. But then they pushed me on to the New York round, what do they call it? The boot camp round. And that wasn't so pleasant because you were like sequestered in a warehouse for a week, waiting to have your second audition.
Really?
Yeah. And then when I did my second audition, all the judges were looking at me like, we don't know who any of those impressions were that you did. Who was that? What did you just do?
And was it forced? I mean, were they just trying to be a hard room, just a tough room kind of thing?
I think they were lying because I was like, you know what, Dan? All right, why don't you go make me some coffee and I'll take care of the kids? You know, doing Roseanne Barr, and I sang like Edith Bunker, and I did Marge Simpson, and I did Bart, man. I did all of them, and they were like, we don't know who any of those are. I was like, you're all fucking lying. You just don't want to cast me in the show.
Yeah.
But you know,
that's so LA though.
I know. It's fine though. It was fine. It was a really good experience, and some cool things came of it.
Do you get paid to do that, or is it just the thrill of being there?
No, you don't get paid. Yes, it's the thrill and the joy of being there. Yeah, it's just the exposure. You want the exposure. I wanted to get on for like 2 or 3 episodes of the live show for the exposure. I just wanted to get like an agent, manager, comedy manager, but it didn't happen. That's fine.
So you got a little mention from Howard.
When I was taping America's Got Talent in L.A., I couldn't judge one of the acts. You know why? I knew one of the acts. And you know who the act was?
Who?
It was Rachel Butera, the impressionist.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, she, well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say how she did, but...
I think you should wait for the show.
Yeah, but I was happy to see her there. And
so what will happen is if she goes through, you would have to refrain from voting each time?
That is correct. And then America would get to vote eventually. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was happy to see her taking a shot at that.
Absolutely. I think you suggested it to her.
No, I suggested to her, Robin Zanis, Robin Zanis, Robin Zanis.
I love how you leave that on the end.
I know.
No, but so did he ever get to vote on you or no?
No, he had to refrain from the voting.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was still awesome.
Are you still doing call-ins?
I do voices for them like monthly. Yeah, on a monthly basis I do stuff. Not too many impressions lately. They got other girls that they're using now. Whatever, but I do a lot of voices for them, other stuff.
I mean, you can say if you can answer or not, but is that paid work or is that just, you're a call-in?
No, I get paid.
Well, good. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it's like a recurring retainer thing, or they just pay
have
per
impressionists
bit?
And people that they use, like regular callers and people who do regular stuff for them.
Yeah. So you have to deal with Gary Delabate a lot?
I used to. Now I deal with Will, the producer.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. But although I did email Gary today asking if I could call in and promote a cartoon that's coming on Fox soon.
We were such big fans of this stuff when I was in high school. We actually invented our own game called Baba Booey Ball.
It
was like freaking soccer and rugby and football all combined, but then no rules at all.
I love it.
That was Baba Booey Ball.
And that was before he threw the pitch. Do you know about the pitch?
Yeah. I graduated from high school in 92. I was listening to Howard Stern with an earpiece in my right hand in physics class like this.
You're younger than me.
During the class. And he would say something or whatever, and I'd be like...
Oh my God.
I'm like trying not to laugh in the middle of physics class.
Yeah. Whoa. That's crazy.
Sorry. I'm nerding.
All right. We got a bunch of questions from our wonderful chat room audience. And again, if you have a question, throw it into the chat room and our lovely assistant, Shelly Evelina, will get it up there. Karen O'Brien asks, what are your top 5 favorite impressions? Well, you did a couple there, but what are your top 5 favorites?
Yeah, probably the ones that I did in America's Got Talent. So I did Cyndi Lauper, Whoopi Goldberg, Rosie O'Donnell, Wanda Sykes, and Joan Rivers. Those are probably my 5 best, I guess you would say. I did Bjork as well, but they cut it.
No way.
The audience went nuts when I did it, and they cut it. I was so pissed.
Did you do Bjork speaking or Bjork singing?
Yeah. I made up a whole song, and that whole thing. Like
I freaking love Bjork, man.
I know, me too.
All I remember is the swan costume.
Oh, I know. How great. And the teardrops in her eyes.
She's
all right. Yes. J.S. Gilbert, never short for questions, says... Well, we have to now. I have to put this in context. It says, "Is she core?" Because I see a mixture of union and non-union work she has done.
FICOR, I guess.
I've done non-union work. What? I don't know. I mean, I don't really do non-union work.
So you're full on union?
I've done I'm union. Yeah, I'm not FICOR. Yeah. I'm SAG-AFTRA. I've done audiobooks in the past, but that was before I was SAG-AFTRA.
And there is a whole audiobooks union thing now.
Audiobooks goes through it takes AFTRA in consideration.
It's true.
Yeah. I started before I went on Howard, I started dabbling in voiceover, and so I would find jobs on Craigslist in New Jersey.
Sure.
And just get paid $25.
Local companies and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah. How long ago when did you sign?
It's got to be 2.5 years now. Yeah, 2.5.
Was that a really hard transition? Because I know it's something that comes up a lot, the transition from non to union.
I didn't know shit. I mean, I moved out here from New Jersey, didn't know anybody, didn't know anything. I was with William Morris, and I worked for a year, and then I did 3 commercials, and so I had to join SAG. So I was happy to. I've always wanted that card. I've always wanted to belong to SAG.
You came in, I think where it gets hard for people is when they already have a pretty big client base of non-union work, right?
Yeah.
And then when they join,
they
kind of have to,
I didn't have to give anything up.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Carol Spencer Morgan, all the way, who is listening in Australia
tomorrow.
How things down under?
Yeah. So we can ask her what's going on in the future. What's happening tomorrow, Carol? How do you deconstruct a character's voice, or do you just slide into it like a comfy pair of shoes?
Yeah, it's more the latter. I really don't. I don't practice unless it's a hard one. Unless it's one that I get through the agency that I don't normally do, then I'll just listen a bunch of times. I listen, record a line, listen, record a line. I do it back and forth until I think I'm close enough to where there's a nuance or a sound or the way it goes down or something. But for the most part, I hear somebody talking in a way that gets to me, and I just do it back. So it's not something I really deconstruct or practice, although I probably should.
Well, you might find yourself needing to, I guess if you get called for more, and if you become one of their #1 calls for doing voice matches.
Whenever I've booked a voice match, I do listen to the person over and over, and a lot of different clips, to hear different era, this person, different, this and that person.
Do they send you stuff, or do you just, it's up to you, got on YouTube and you start,
a lot of times they'll send a reference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they'll send a reference link, but then I find my own, because it'll be somebody I don't know. A lot of times it's these actresses I don't know, these young actresses. I don't know who anybody is, and they'll say the name, and I click on the link, and I don't know who they are. So then
some TV actor or something.
Yeah, so then I'll look for other things that they've been in, so I could hear them in a different way.
Right.
Well, we're having a big thunderstorm here. So
is that what's going on? Oh my God.
She doesn't like the thunderstorm, so she gets close to Daddy.
Oh, isn't that cute? Oh, dinky.
Yes. We finally solved the problem of her peeing everywhere. We just put a diaper on her.
Oh my God. Oh, poor Beba.
We're laughing at you, Tinky. We're laughing with you.
I'm totally humiliated.
It's better than the color shame.
Next question. Yes. Nathan Cundiff, Devox first. Okay. Any unusual workout routines or tips for maintaining or developing various voices? Sounds like you're pretty loosey-goosey with all of that.
Yeah.
Pretty organic is the word we might use.
Yeah. I mean, I do teach some voice matching, which I think it's a thing that you're born with or you're not, but you can get a bit closer. You can certainly pick up on some nuances, although some people can do it more easily than others. But I don't know that it's something you can teach. I think all you can do is, if you have a great ear, you think you have a good ear, is to listen in headphones to the person and just practice it over and over. That's all I really do when I get somebody that I think I can't do. And there are some I can't do Madonna. I don't sound like Madonna no matter what I do. Oprah's another hard one as well. So yeah, I mean, I think it's just what you're blessed with, and I think everybody has at least one impression in them. They sound like somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It must be something about the music. Do you have some musical background?
I sing. I was in a band, but I don't play any instruments.
Yeah.
My brother does, though. He plays every instrument, and he sings, and he draws. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because the singing and performance, definitely, I think, is a huge plus if you're going to be doing voice matching.
Yeah, for sure. It's an ear
thing. You have to have that
thing.
ear. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Devox asks, and everybody usually asks about this. Do you have any unusual, I can't think of that you would do anything usual, Rachel, but any unusual workout routines or tips for maintaining or developing various voices?
Wasn't that just the question before?
I thought it was.
No, it really wasn't.
No? No, I just, I'll tell you, as I'm getting older, I try not to yell anymore because my voice just doing that Whoopi Goldberg now I can feel it. Whereas I used to be able to do that all day. Or I used to be able to sing like an 80s, like Skid Row at the top of my lungs, the whole album with all the way through. Yeah. And not feel a thing. And now I can feel it. So now I try not to yell. Yeah. And I try not to do any voices that are hard on my throat anymore like I used to.
So does warm up get in? Nathan asked about warm up.
I sing to warm up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I sing to warm up in the car on the way to the studio or at home. Like I'll sing to my cat around the house in the morning before I get in the booth. Like because just sing as high as I can and as low as I can to
Does your cat go, oh, this is good?
Yeah,
or does
he
the cat
loves
does the
it.
cat go? Does your cat just go?
My cat is insane because all I do is sing and talk out loud. So all he does is cry. We're vocal. We talk to each other. I'm lonely. What do you want?
Oh.
All right. Let's see. Devox Nathan Cundiff. Oh, we asked that one. What do you do to get warmed up?
Yeah, I just asked that. Sorry.
I
meant to hide that one.
Oh, okay.
Kettlebells.
Look at that.
That's right. Wow. Impressive.
I've been working out with a trainer like you, George.
Do you tie it to your uvula?
No, but I would like to do something to get rid of this. Is there a weight for this besides lipo? I can't
There's
wait
probably a
to book a cartoon so I can get lipo.
Probably a thing you can do where you lay on a bench and you hang the kettlebell from your head.
At this age, lipo's the only answer.
Probably.
All right.
They do it with lasers now.
Yeah, they freeze the fat.
There you go.
Lasers and freezing.
Yeah. Let's
so
see.
yeah, I mean, Devox also asked about, do you push your voices? I mean, you answered that. You do push your voices on some of that. Your voice box. I mean,
sometimes you have to.
Yeah, like the Whoopie, like that. Like my mother's down here, and for some reason that doesn't hurt as much as the Whoopie because the Whoopie's got like more air in it or something.
I don't know, but that really does kill me, and I can't do it for that long.
Do you get booked on this? I mean, if you had to do a voice match for Whoopi, and knowing that, like, oh man, this voice is hard for me to do, has that ever been a problem? Like, oh man, I don't know if I can make it through this script or whatever.
Not
it's
yet.
usually very short stuff.
Not yet. Yeah. No, it's been okay so far.
Steve Tardio
from
New York City says, "Can you do Marianne from the Howard Stern Show?"
Hi, Steve. How are you? Did you hear Marianne today? She's going crazy because it's Howard's last night on Letterman.
There's your answer.
All I need is Steve in my life.
Where did Howard find her?
She's a gem, let me tell you. She's amazing. And she's got a husband. Like, what is that guy?
Oh, my God.
Did you ever see Flight of the Conchords? Remember how Mel would be like, hi, Brett. Hi, Jimmy. And then she would follow them around everywhere, and the husband was in the car. That's what I imagine Marianne's life is like, too.
All right.
It's crazy.
I miss Flight of the Conchords.
So great.
Yeah.
Yes. Mike Elmore speaks and asks this question: do we get to hear about the Fox gig coming up?
Oh, thanks, Mike. That's really nice. Yeah, I did a voice for Golan the Insatiable, Golan, for Fox ADHD, and it was like a short, and now it's going to be a half an hour, 6 episodes on Fox Primetime starting May 31st, and I play the sister, Alexis.
Far out, man.
Pretty
Congratulations.
cool. Thank you. I'm very excited.
That's awesome.
Oh, all right.
And thanks for bringing it up, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Now, you've also done some animation voices. Now, I was looking through this list. You actually did some stuff on Pokemon?
Yeah. But that was back in the day.
How did that happen? What was that like?
Well, so my friend worked at 4 Kids in Manhattan back in the day, and this is before Howard. This was before anything. And she knew I could do voices and voice matching, and I was just thinking about getting into voiceover. So they just needed some, like, some tertiary characters in Pokemon.
4 Kids in Manhattan. That's like Upright Citizens Brigade or something like that?
No, it was a production company that did a lot of anime and like Japanese stuff.
Okay.
So Kristen actually brought me in, and I did some voices for that. And then, like, my very first animation was Viva Pinata, I don't know if anybody knows that show.
No.
But the girl, it was a voice match. It was the girl was moving to California who was voicing Beverly Badgesicle, this purple Badger, and they needed to voice match a couple lines. And so, like, I went in and I got paid $900 for an hour and a half of work. I was like, this is what I want to fucking do.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So that was actually my very first voiceover voice matching job.
Oh.
Yeah.
All righty.
Yeah.
Yes. Kevin Schiller says, do you do Lucy?
Who? I Love Lucy?
Yeah, that Lucy.
That one. The early Lucy or the late Lucy?
Yeah,
Ricky.
late Lucy.
Lucille Ball. No, I really can't do that. No, can't do that one. No, that's a no.
There you go. She
I
cannot do
Desi
things.
Arnaz a lot. Lucy, what is Ethel doing in the closet?
I could probably do Desi Arnaz better than I can Lucy. Lucy, Babaloo. Yeah.
Okay. Shelly Avellino, who's running things tonight in the chat room, says, have you ever taken any dialect courses if you've had an accent you've struggled with?
I do have a Jersey accent, but I do seem to be able to turn it off when I'm reading commercial copy and stuff. But I probably could benefit from one of those classes. I've never taken one, but I've actually been thinking I'd like to take a dialect class because in New Jersey, my Australian, my French, my Spanish accents are hysterical and brilliant. But in California, competing against all these women who've been doing it forever, maybe not as great.
Mm-hmm.
So I've recently been thinking I should take some of those classes to brush up.
Are you taking classes and workshops and all that stuff now that you're out in California?
I am. I'm doing all of that. Because, in New York, you go to the casting directors, you audition, and you audition at the casting directors in New York. Here, you got to pay and take their workshops to meet them. So, it's, you got to do it. You just have to. I took Andrea Toyas' workshop, and everybody was talking about you, George, there.
Well, that was nice of them.
Yeah.
I should find out who that
Andreas
person is.
Toyas. She works for Blizzard. She's the casting director at Blizzard Video Games. Andreas Toyas.
Very cool. Thank you for mentioning that. I will look her up and send her a pumpkin pie.
Really? Where's my pumpkin pie? Actually, no, I hate pumpkin pie. I only like chocolate. If anybody's listening and wants to send me presents, chocolate only.
Chocolate.
Dark.
Absolutely.
Chocolate, yeah.
Carol Spencer Morgan again from Australia. Socially, do you have a filter?
No.
Or do your characters come with you over coffee?
Yeah.
I can tell you that socially she does not.
Socially, I am worse. Okay, I'm a social wreck. No, I do it. Yeah, I mean, the problem is now that like everybody knows. They always ask you to do it, so you feel like a trained monkey a lot of times, and I find myself like rebelling against it.
Do that voice, you do.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to do it. But I'll do it just if it strikes me and I want to do it, So I mean, yeah, I'm a crazy person socially. I don't hold back anything.
Yeah, it was Amy Fisher, George.
Oh, thank you.
Apparently she was there.
What?
The real Amy Fisher, by the way.
Oh, that Amy Fisher.
Yeah. Kevin Schuler asks, Whoopie sounds like it hurts. Are you a smoker?
No, I'm not a smoker.
Good.
But I can tell you, it does kind of hurt. It doesn't hurt right now, but it's going to hurt. If I keep doing it, it's going to hurt later on, you see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Improv. You're practicing improv, taking improv classes, do improv? I would think you're really good at that.
Thanks. I took Improv 101 at UCB in New York before I moved to Cali, and then I took 201, 301, and 401 at UCB here, but I never finished 401. So I've also been thinking I got to get back into that too, because those improvers seem to be having nice careers. All those groundlings and UCB people are getting some nice comedic roles, theatrical roles. So I would like to do that. Yeah.
All right. Now you do you do a radio show or a podcast. You say you're doing you want to do one with your mother. You're doing one on your own right now?
I'm doing one with Wendy Liebman, the great Wendy Liebman, who I met on America's Got Talent. And we became like super fast friends and we love each other. So we're doing Wendy and Rachel Save the World. George, you're smiling. Why?
Because I've listened to a couple of them.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun with that. I love Wendy.
You guys just talk about whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, we did one on boobs. That was our first one.
Yeah.
And then we did one Friends the other day.
It's a podcast. You never miss a podcast.
You never miss a podcast.
It's right there. You can grab it anytime.
Yeah.
Let me grab a pen and let me figure. All right,
Wendy and Rachel saved the world. And Wendy has such an East Coast accent because she's Jewish and she's from Long Island. And I love to make fun of her accent. She's just wonderful. I love her.
It's very funny. It's just, I have a huge queue of podcasts. I mean, I've probably got 25 different podcasts.
Too many.
To listen to.
I just can't. It's just too much to listen to. There's so much.
It's based on half the time it's based on who the guest is these days because there's so many of them.
I know.
You know, like I listen to the Nerdist.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Heard of that one?
Yeah,
it depends on who's going to be on, you know.
I know. I mean, it's just hard. You can't keep up with all of them.
But it's getting I mean, podcasting, I think, really is now starting to get some real respect.
Literally everybody that dog has a podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has.
Well, she does actually, but
See?
she has access to the equipment. I come in here and I find her just using it.
She doesn't have the equipment. She has access to the equipment, like the ISDN.
That's right. We don't lie to her agents. But
it says on her website she has access to a studio, her master's studio.
She actually has a studio.
And she uses her master's voice most of the time. Now you have your own studio at home. Have you set up something really elaborate or in your closet?
I have le closet extraordinaire. Yes, I have a closet that I don't use. It's just a small closet. I have I had a futon couch, so I threw the couch out, but I kept the stuffing, the couch part, and I have it up against the wall. My friend calls it the vertical bedroom, so it's up against the wall.
We've seen it.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
We've seen that more than once in several people's places.
Oh yeah, people do in hotels.
Oh yeah, totally.
They flip the freaking
pillows
bed.
and blankets, right?
Yeah.
In the bed, yeah. I have pillows and blankets. And I have a little rug. You know, it's not ideal. There's like the one wall is on the stairway going down outside the apartment. So if anybody's in that stairway or you can hear everything, and it comes through the holes in the ventilation. So. It's not soundproof and it's not the greatest, but I would like it to be. That's why I need you.
It's the closest one. I mean, it's the best space because it's contained, because it's small.
Yeah, I've gotten it pretty dead. I am hearing this like ringing though that I put foam on the stand because my voice was bouncing off the metal stand.
Yep.
But it's still, I'm still hearing it. Yeah.
It might be something like, is there a light in there?
There is a light. It's way up high. My ceilings are high, but I try and keep the light off.
Okay. Well, sometimes if you have like a metal thing behind the light, sometimes that will ring. You'd be amazed.
The weirdest crap will resonate, especially if you're have a strong voice. If you're speaking softly, probably none of this stuff happens. It's probably only when you're doing loud stuff, right?
Yeah, it is when it's louder stuff. When I do close to the mic stuff, it doesn't seem to be as bad.
Dan might have hit on the head, but we can figure it out.
I do a lot of hitting on the head, but that's what George and I do. Is we it's like we go in there and we sniff around, and it's like, oh, here it is.
I got a stethoscope. I will literally. I mean, Nathan, who's asking all these questions, he gave me he's a doctor, and he gave me a stethoscope because it really helps. You can put the thing on. And have someone talk or whatever and say, where the heck is that noise coming from? It works.
I don't know. I think there's ghosts in my closet because
they're doing the impressions.
Yeah.
I mean, souls, they're getting back at you for doing impressions of them.
Because sometimes I'll just hit record for room tone and I hear things moving. There's no one in there. I'm outside the closet. Yeah. And I'm hearing things moving and shuffling and like, that pitch, just a higher room tone. Yeah. And I don't know. That's why I need you. We've got to connect.
Yeah. Well, send us an audio sample first.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll take a
We'll
listen.
figure it out. Absolutely. Let's see here.
Let's do that one last one from Mike Elmore.
Yeah. Does Andy Dick still have his webcast? Do any work with him lately?
No, I was co-hosting a podcast with him like shortly after I moved to LA.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. But then
then
he got Dancing with the Stars and he started doing that. And then he went to rehab in Malibu and now I don't know, I think he's doing a bunch of stuff. I just saw he was in Italy, but I'm not doing anything with him anymore at the moment. But I think he might still be doing his at T Radio V, his podcast. I'm not sure.
T Radio V,
but not me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people are doing things. I mean, George and I were doing it before it was popular, of course.
Well, you guys.
Well, we started the trend, is what it is.
Yes, they saw us doing it. Hey, I could do that.
Those guys, George and Dan.
Yeah,
we could do that.
Well, I feel like, I don't know, should I even bother? Because everybody's doing it. Nobody cares. It's so saturated now, you know. But my mother's gold. So I think like
go with it.
You know, it's like it's like trying to get to be a voice actor. Can I be a voice actor? Everybody's a freaking voice actor.
But if you stand out and if people notice you and you have the right formula, you just roll with it.
And the other thing with the podcast is don't spend too much time producing it.
No.
That's why we do this show live.
Yeah.
Really is why it started out that way because out of sheer laziness. I didn't want to have to sit there, record all this stuff, then sift through it all, find all the good bits, edit it all together. I just wanted it to be live. It starts, it ends, it's over. It's done.
Live.
And that's the way. There are people that do really well produced podcasts.
Yeah.
You know, like really good radio. Like there's something called what is it called? I can't remember the name right now. Damn it. There's some they're NPR productions usually. But unbelievable productions. Like they're just great radio.
Yeah.
But some of the other good ones are, just a couple of people talking for an hour.
If the content is interesting, funny, enlightening, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. If it resonates with people and production values wise, it's somewhere between, a garage band playing and voiceover. It doesn't have to be like stellar.
Yeah.
Like Nerdist I was talking about. It sounds like a couple guys sitting in a living room talking. That's really all it sounds like.
This one actually sounds like the living room talking because we hear Ella, we hear the cat.
Yeah, you hear the cat, you hear the neighbor's dog crying. We've had it all tonight.
Yeah.
That's true. Thunderstorms, Tinky, everybody's with us.
I miss thunderstorms. I'm jealous.
I am bringing them with me.
Please bring them.
I have a large suitcase and we're like putting them in there and I'm going to have a little trouble getting them past TSA.
It thundered the other night. Did you hear that?
No.
Maybe it was down here. Maybe
I get nothing over by me.
There was 2 thunderclaps. It's actually more rare to hear thunder than it is to have an earthquake.
Really?
I think we have more earthquakes than I hear thunder.
Oh yeah, well,
it's pretty weird.
Well, why is there no thunder here? It's bizarre.
It is really strange. Yeah. I
look really tan on your can. Is this the yellow you were talking about? I look like a golden bronzed rotisserie chicken. Look at the color of me.
Might be why I was drooling. Okay.
I'm so brown. I was riding my bike on the beach before, but this is ridiculous.
It's that camera. It's got to go.
It is. So if people want to hear you, where do they go, Rachel?
Call me 201-5. No. Well, you can follow me on Twitter. I post a lot of videos of impressions there. At Rachel A. Butera, Rachel. Where else? That's it, right? YouTube. I'm on YouTube. Google me. If you Google Rachel Butera, you'll find a million things. And listen to Howard Stern every day. You might hear my voice here and there. And Wendy and Rachel Save the World on streaminggarage.com. That's my podcast. And yeah, that's it.
Outstanding.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for, coming all the way from your neighborhood and taking the hike into Santa Monica and joining us live in the studio tonight. We really appreciate it.
No, thanks. Any excuse to come to the beach. I love it. Love, love, love it. So thank you guys for having me.
You're welcome.
So it's fun.
All righty.
Yay.
Well, we'll have you on again.
Thanks, you better.
In the new studio.
It'll be in the valley.
Really,
oh, shit. Right. See, I'll come to Santa Monica, but I fucking hate the valley.
You don't date 818, huh?
I hate the valley. Although I met a real valley girl, like she was from the valley, and she actually started a sentence with "for sure." It was awesome. It was an awesome moment for me because I grew up on Valley Girl, the movie.
Everything I learned about Southern California was from listening to Frank Zappa songs.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Was he talking about Valley Girls?
Well, he had a song called Valley Girl. Valley Girl.
It's true.
And his teenage daughter named Moon Unit.
Right. Yeah.
Sings the song, right?
His son follows me, Amit.
Amit?
He follows me on Twitter.
Oh, really?
That was an exciting moment.
He's funny.
Yeah.
You remember when they had their own show for a brief time?
No.
Or they were like on they were like the sidekicks on a show?
No, I don't remember that.
They're freaking funny.
But he's a Howard Stern fan.
Oh, is he?
A big Howard Stern fan,
I like him, Amit.
Yeah. I won't take any more of your time, darling. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome to all you want. Anyway, we're going to try and wrap things up in a nice, tight little bow right after this. So don't go away. We'll be back here on East West Audio Body Shop.
Hey, this is Roger Leopardi, and you're watching East West Audio Body Shop.
Now back to EWABS. Thank Dan and George's wives. For what? You have no idea. Now, here's Dan and George. This is East West Audio Body Shop with Dan Leonard in the East and George Whittam in the West. Now, back to Dan and George.
VoiceOver Extra, the voiceover industry's online news, education, and resource center 24/7. Hundreds, probably thousands of free how-to articles for voiceover success, ranging from home studio to voice acting to business. A free voiceover industry directory, calendar of industry events, resource links, a store, and much more. Bi-monthly webinars on all topics of voiceover, free subscriptions to newsletters, reports, announcements, daily news, and features at voiceoverextra.com.
And now, back to East West Audio Body Shop, where every week it's Apollo 13.
We are back here on East West Audio Body Shop, and thanks again to Rachel Butera for joining us tonight and making us all laugh. It's just a nice, comfortable conversation.
Yeah, I was really comfortable.
It's so much nicer when someone's here in person.
So don't you feel isolated and alone all the time?
Yeah.
Or is that just me?
I get a little taste of what a voice actor I'm not a voice actor, right? So, but I get a taste of what that must be like you're talking into the vacuum.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It can get quite alone. That's when you grab your dog.
I bought a mannequin at the thrift shop yesterday to keep me company, and I put it in the booth.
Did you really?
I'm not kidding.
Listen!
Our neighbor had one in the backyard, standing in the backyard. I swear every freaking time I'd walk in the kitchen,
That's
I'd look
scary.
up and I'd see it. Damn it, mannequin.
That's scary.
Newman.
All righty. Well, it's time to run that jingle, George.
Oh, that jingle. Dun dun dun.
Just sit back and relax. It's time for some announcements.
All righty. Coming up next week, May 18th. Yes, he'll be back. David Jeremiah, he does a lot of promo and commercial work. And we had him on a couple weeks ago with Eric Leopardi, and it's like, well, we gotta hear more from this guy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have him on. That'll be a fun night. May 25th. By the way, that's Memorial Day, and I'll actually be in Boston visiting my friends the Amadors.
Nice.
Yes.
Great people.
And Jacob, who does does Mugman, he has some of his cast and some of his consultants are in Boston. He's never met them. They only know each other on the internet. So for his birthday, planning going to Boston.
Cool.
So hopefully I'll be back, but we're going to be off on May 25th. On June 15th, which is ahead, I have to go to a dinner, but I'll be back a little bit later wearing a tuxedo, but we're going to do a fan roundtable.
Sweet. Yeah,
yes.
I love fan roundtables. We haven't done one in so long.
I know. We haven't done any roundtables in a while.
I know. We've just had a hell of a run.
Great guests like Rachel Butera.
Yeah, we've had a hell of a fun run.
Yeah, it is. Now, the last actual East West Audio Body Shop, because it'll be the last one from the East, will be on July 6th. So if you guys have any ideas of what we should do for the last EWABS before I head out west and we totally change this show and make it like really cool and professional.
Sure.
Like that's going to happen.
Professional, man.
Yeah, it's
for
right.
sure.
Yeah, I was thinking we could start wearing blazers or something. And I'm like, that's not going to work.
Smoking jackets.
Yes. And fezzes.
Yeah.
I think it's been done, actually.
Yeah, Leo Laporte. This guy did the fez thing already. This little.
Oh, Leo Laporte did that. It's true. Yes.
My podcasting idol. Anyway.
You're never gonna do it without the fez on. Steely Dan fans? Anybody?
Oh yeah.
Just me? Am I 100 years old? Starting to show my age.
That doesn't date you that bad.
No, old soul.
Steely Dan is universal. Anyway, so if you guys have any ideas of how we want to do the last actual EWABS, which will probably be, well, it won't be our 200th episode, but darn close, if you can believe that.
Yeah. Should we just make it turn out that way? No, I guess we'd have to squeeze too many episodes in to get that 200.
We'll just do 4 days a week,
Okay.
We won't work. We'll just do the show.
All right.
And so that'll be on July 6th. And then Marcy, the 2 dogs, and I are getting in the car and driving across the US of A.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be back on August 10th in a new studio.
That's so exciting.
It is.
California is the best. The West is the best.
We love it.
Jim Morrison was so right.
Best coast.
Yeah. Okay.
West Coast.
All right.
West Coast.
Anyway, so looking forward to that.
Hey, look who's here.
There's a baby girl in the house.
All right. Well, it's time to thank our donors of the week. Eric Aragoni, who's been mentioned more times than any other person on this show. Thanks, Eric. Deb Irwin, the lovely Deb Irwin out of New York City by way of Chicago. Michael Martin, John Preston, Manuel Naranjo, C3M Productions, and the one and only amazing Jack DeGolia. Thank you, Jack.
Yeah, that's fun.
Does all this work for us, and then he donates to the show. But you all know that.
I know, he's crazy.
Yeah, we know that. Okay, now, what you got the next one?
Okay, so narratorhelper.com. That's Ella's mommy's business doing audiobook proofing, editing, and mastering. So if you'd like to help make sure that Ella gets swim lessons and dance classes and food, then you should probably hire Amy. Guilt trip. Narratorhelper.com. There you go.
Alrighty. Yes. And you guys should know about the show logs. Those of you who don't, every show that we've done, Jack DeGolia has carefully transcribed every last word. Well, I think he's just sort of
he's working his way. He'll do one new show and then one old show. He works his way backwards.
Right.
What else?
So,
I want to say hi.
Hi. Hi. How are you?
Say East West Audio Body Shop.
East West Audio Body
See,
Shop.
she says it the way. Say East West Audio Body Shop.
East West Audio Body Shop.
Not bad. Not
So
bad.
cute.
Okay. All right. We'll work on that.
Can you teach me to talk that high?
Can you teach Rachel how you do that? How do you do that? How do you talk that high?
Well,
I'm trying to voice match the girl.
Okay, Rachel's going to voice match you. Ella, you say something and Rachel's going to say it just like you. Ready? Go.
East West Audio Body Shop. East West Audio Body Shop.
Hey, that was pretty good.
Ooh, that's really cool.
Thank you,
You could be
Ella.
a coach. Thanks for coming to say hi, Ella.
Yeah. All righty. Show logs. Let's see. Oh, yeah. If you want to see the show logs, just go right above my head there and you'll see, or there's a thing that says show logs and you'll see what those are all about. We're on YouTube. In case you miss a show, you can catch any show we've ever done. And of course, the podcast version, which is on Stitcher Radio, iTunes, and you can get it at Podbean at ewabs.podbean.com. And of course, like us on Facebook. We always, if you're on Facebook, one, we know you're older than 40, and two, we communicate with people that way. And if you're friended with our EWABS page there, you'll at least know what's coming on, and you'll see the promos and stuff like that. So make sure you get on YouTube and like our videos and watch each and every last one of them, especially all the commercials. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks again, Rachel, for being with us
Thank you
tonight.
guys so much. Thanks everybody for listening.
It was a pleasure. And we're going to finish things up here by saying our usual thing, which is I'm Dan Leonard, still in the East.
And I'm George Woodham out here in the West.
And together we are East West Audio Body Shop. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Dada.